a lot of your book is about exercise and the difference between fat loss and exercising for fat loss and exercising for weight loss. Can you tell us the difference between the two?
Yeah, it's very similar to the idea of food. So you can exercise to burn calories, which essentially is the approach that I'm just going to go out and I'm going to exercise for longer. Or you can go and adjust hormones and exercise harder. Now, here's the thing to be clear on. All exercise impacts our hormones. It's just that certain exercise does it in a favorable way, and other types of exercise do it in an unfavorable way. So let's take the different types of exercise. Let's take the stereotypical, if you go see your doctor and you ask them, hey, I want to lose weight, they're going to tell you go do, 20 to 60 minutes of jogging in your aerobic zone where you can still talk. And what that's going to do is that's going to change hormones. And what it's going to do is over time, after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, cortisol levels are going to begin to rise. And they're going to stay high throughout your run. And the longer you go, the higher they will go. And then what will happen is when you stop running, you stop burning calories, and all of a sudden your body has a compensatory eating reaction because also that will make a hormone, a hunger hormone called ghrelin, go up, making you very hungry. A Time magazine actually did an article on this in August of 2009, and the title of the article was basically that exercise is useless for weight loss, is essentially what they were saying because of this compensatory eating reaction and this stress reaction. Now, that is the example of how people typically want to exercise for weight loss. But if you want fat loss, now what you want to do is you want to focus on more intense exercise, things like weight training, things like high-intensity interval training, things that breach the anaerobic threshold. So for those people who are not too technical and don't know what the anaerobic threshold is, it is just that place in a workout where you feel uncomfortable. Essentially, you're pushing yourself to the point of discomfort where you can no longer talk, where your muscles are burning, where you're breathless, and then you're resting, and then you're coming back and doing it again. This will raise cortisol just like the other type of exercise, but it will also raise growth hormone and testosterone, and it actually has the opposite effect on ghrelin, making you less hungry. When cortisol, growth hormone, and testosterone are all combined together in that way, not only do you burn more fat during your workout, but you burn fat after your workout as well. It's a very different approach. So it's not about going longer or further. It's about going shorter and harder.
John, one example I think that drives it home for people would be taking two elite athletes, one being the sprinter and the other one being the long-distance runner. If you compare groups of these athletes and you ask the question, well, both of these athletes are very lean, but which one's leaner? And then which one has more muscle? Which one is actually healthier and looks healthier? And the answer is, if you're being honest with yourself, it's a sprinter. And then you ask yourself, how long is the sprinter exercise compared to the marathon runner? So that's amazing. So the sprinter exercises for seconds, has less body fat, creates a hormonal environment that allows it to be anabolic, whereas the marathon runner creates a hormonal environment that makes him catabolic. And you can see this with extreme athletes. A lot of them look very gaunt and depleted. And when we see the marathon runners in our clinic, we have to do everything to keep them, to maintain their health so they can keep competing in their sport.
Yeah, and one thing I'll add to what Keoni's saying, just so the listeners can get perspective on this, you can find marathon runners and you can find triathletes and you can find long-distance athletes who have plenty of muscle and are very lean and look fantastic and are very healthy. The fact of the matter is, though, you'll find very few of them who were obese at one point in time. These people almost have metabolisms that allow them to do this activity. Very rarely have we seen an obese person pick up triathlete running, marathon running, or anything like that and be able to achieve those bodies. So the idea is this. The idea is that just because some people can do these sports and excel at them and have beautiful, fit physiques, they are in the minority. Most people cannot do that. And so what will happen is people will look at, some of these nice fit marathon runners and go on these marathon running training programs. And I guarantee you, if you ask around, and everyone listening on the line can attest to this, you will find people who've done marathon running programs who not only did not lose weight during the process, but gained weight. And oftentimes what happens is they lose muscle, not fat. So we have to kind of keep this in perspective. Yes, everyone is different. Yes, you can find athletes who are very lean and functional and fit in the world of long-distance running, but they are in the minority. And what we need to do is let people understand that if you are overweight or obese or struggling with fat loss, that is not probably the approach you want. It's healthy exercise, but it's not fat loss exercise.
Right.